Welcome to the GradeBook functionality video. I'm going to show you how this all works from the instructor's gradebook. To begin with, let me show you what the instructor sees. This instructor number 2, is teaching two classes, Class 1 and Class 2. Each has its own curriculum and syllabus. The syllabus, as you can see, does not have an edit button associated with it. That is because of standards. So the syllabus is the contract with the student. So once the class begins, the syllabus cannot be edited. So then that is fixed. And this is an example of how standards can be programmed into this interface. The professor also has chosen to post their curriculum in different ways. In this example, the curriculum is posted on a WordPress page because that is what the instructor is comfortable with relative to this material. As I have said before, the purpose of the software is to facilitate the teaching. It is not meant to make the teaching adjust to it. In this particular example, the instructor was more comfortable using Google Documents, and so that's how the assignments were posted in this case with the lecture notes. Now, there are other options here. So for example, the graded material can be posted as well. Let me show you an example of that. In this particular example, the student filled out a WordPress form and sent it to the teacher. The teacher graded it and then posted that to the student online. No one else can read it. So let me show you. This view does not give you the full view of the grading. So here the student can see the response from the instructor and can know why they got the particular grade that they did on this assignment. Now all of this can be edited. So let me show you what this one looks like. Right here, the weight can be edited for this particular assignment. Here's the link to the student's document where it was posted by the email server. And then here's the assignment on the WordPress document. Now let's say, for example, that the instructor decided that based on the distribution of weights, this needed to actually be worth 0.75 of whatever maximum that they are using. That, of course, is completely flexible. This is calculated as a pure weighted average. So then in this case we have instructor 1. So if I sent this in with that validation code, it would not go through. I would have to use instructor 1's validation code. And as I discussed in the email video, this is part of the security and how the whole system works to manage this without allowing hackers to get in through this very dynamic interface. Now, if we go back to the instructor, I want to show that also if the instructor is using the Google Documents interface, they have an unusual ability to create their own multiple choice exams in here. And then it will also email the responses to the student as well as the instructor, so then that could be automatically calculated. There may be just some discomfort with having material posted on a third-party server. However, through the process of mirroring, there is no trouble with getting the material down internally. Now, also, there are other instructors that, for example, are purely online, and let me show you what their website would look like. So this is an online instructor, and here's an example of what can be provided. So a full multiple choice exam can be generated, and then the instructor can have the grade sheet also plugged in automatically. Now if I fill this in and then I put in the student code for a student that has already taken it, what happens is that this will not be graded because the student has already taken the exam. The teacher can reasonably change that and allow the student to retake the exam, but as an automatic function it has been removed. Now the student, prior to submitting the answers, can survey what they're submitting, and while I use shorthand for these answers, that is by no means restricted. And then as soon as this message is sent, it will be automatically downloaded by the email server, tested and processed, and then the student can have their grade immediately. And then that's how they can see that it was processed. So for example, this student took it on Monday at 8 p.m. and then they can see their answers right here. And the rest of this metadata confirms that this was in fact the student taking their own exam. So that explains the gradebook functionality. The only other issue is that if the teacher wants to add an assignment, that button has been added here to show how that works. And there are many other capabilities that can be facilitated. In this particular case, adding an assignment, the teacher can choose that it's paper. There's no online component. They can link to an online database that they're using, or they can attach a file. Let me show you how that works. So for example, let's say that this particular instructor would like to attach a file. So then when they do that, they have to attach it after clicking submit. So they do submit, and then there they can see their content being put up, and then they can pick a particular file that they would like to attach, and then as soon as it is received and processed by the email server, it will be produced and through a new link right here where it says the assignment. And thank you very much, and I want to re-emphasize that all of this is configurable depending on what Lone Star College and their instructors need.